there is a difference between what we preach and what is generally being practiced in Christendom. So the onus is on us to open the eyes of believers to understand that Christianity in general have erred. There is a need for restoration to the path of truth and righteousness. So there is a painful thing that is disturbing the mind of God. And God himself wants to correct this anomaly. Although I know it may not be generally, we may not correct it generally, but at least we want to see if by the grace of God, we'll be able to appeal to the consciences of some believers, no matter how few, to understand how that Christian practice has deviated seriously from the right path. So today I want to speak on this subject which I call that Christians have compromised their faith. Generally, Christians have compromised their faith and have wandered into idolatry. So today in the world, we have what I call Samaritan worship. A religion whereby there is a mixture of the faith of God with idol worship. It's not a new thing. It preceded our time. It started in the nation of Israel when the kings were ruling Israel. At that time, in 2 Kings chapter 17, the northern kingdom sinned against God. After he tried to restore them through the voice of the prophet and they refused, God handed them over to the king of Assyria. And that is found in 2 Kings chapter 17. The king of Assyria invaded the land, took over the territory, exiled the Israelis that were in that part of Israeli nation. He took them into exile, and in their place he brought men and women from Babylon, whom he planted in the land of Israel. When he planted people in the land of Israel, that is 2 Kings chapter 17 from verse 24. When they arrived in Israel, the Bible says, and the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon. When he brought these men from Babylon, he placed them in the land of Samaria, and they dwelt in the cities of Samaria. And so, verse 25, at the beginning of their dwelling there, they feared not the Lord. Therefore the Lord sent lions among them, which slew some of them. So when they inhabited the land of Israel in Samaria, which was the capital of the northern kingdom, they did not have regard for Jehovah. Then the Lord sent lions among them. When the lions started killing them, they cried to the king of Assyria and said, the people you planted in the land of Israel do not know the manner of the God of the land. Therefore the God of the land is taking vengeance on them. The Bible said that the king of Assyria commanded that a priest be sent, that the priest might go and teach them the will of Jehovah. When that priest was sent to teach them the will of God, they received the priest, but they did not abide by the dictates of the law of the God of Israel. The Bible says in this 2 Kings chapter 17, where I'm speaking from verse 29, it says, howbeit every nation made gods of their own, and put them in the houses of their high places, which the Samaritans had made. Every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt. So now that we were in Israel and were taught the word of Jehovah, they yet made the gods of their previous lands from where they came and placed them alongside the God of Israel. But the Jews said, so they feared the Lord and made unto themselves the lowest of them priests of the high places, which sacrificed to them in the houses of the high places. They feared the Lord and served their own gods, after the manner of nations whom they carried away from thence. So these people were purportedly claiming to be following Jehovah, but they made idols of their former gods, and were serving their gods and Jehovah at the same time. If you read the Bible, said they feared not the Lord. God did not regard their religion, but the religion of the Samaritans subsisted, continued until Jesus Christ came. People of Israel were not able to expunge that form of mixed religion from within their system. Even when there was a reformation by Hezekiah and the rest of them, they left the high places intact, and offering of sacrifices were going on in the high places. So by the time Jesus came to minister to the world in the flesh as the Son of God. There was this dichotomy between the Jewish worship and the Samaritan worship. The Samaritans were worshiping a man Gerizim, while the Jews were worshiping a man Moriah. So, but there was an argument. When Jesus came to the well and asked the woman of Samaria to give him some water, the woman said, "How you being a Jew? He's asking me of water. For the Jews have no dealings with the Gentiles, that were the Samaritans." There was what Jesus answered him, which I want to prove, it is very important to me. John chapter 4 verse 22. Jesus said to her, "You worship you know not what. Ye Samaritans worship what you don't know." Why? You mix your religion with idol worship. Therefore, you don't know what you are doing. Your religion is not the religion of God. It's utterly rejected. So now we may use this as an instance to understand what happened before. But today, Christians have compromised their faith. In the time that the revival happened earlier in Nigeria, there was this separation between Christians and idol worshippers in the practice and in the daily lifestyle. But it's not more so this time. I want to prove from the Bible for you. Today, Christians have joined unbelievers to celebrate marriage the way the idol worshippers do. When Christians were contending for their faith, at that time, when they go to marry wives from the family of unbelievers, they never accepted the culture and the idolatrous demand of the family from where they went to marry. At that time, when Christians go to marry in many villages, there used to be war, spiritual warfare. Christians will say, "We will not do this although the culture demands it. We will not do it because it is idol worship." At that time, when you go to marry in some homes, they will tell you how many yams you are going to bring, tell you how many cigarettes you are going to bring. They will bring the long list of what their idol worship ordinances demand. They will ask you to bring also bitter cola. They will ask you to bring wine for the daughters of the land. Tell you to bring wine for the men of the land. You have to bring goats. So there are things that they required from Christians at that time. At that time, when Christians were contending for their faith, they used to tell them, "We will not do any of this." But today, Christians have compromised. It is only in Day Spring Assembly that we insist that we will not do any of this. Today, why did Christians compromise? They diluted the meaning of those sacrifices that are offered to the devil, and assume as if it means nothing. But the Bible is not saying that it means nothing. In 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 20, the Bible says, "But I say unto you, that things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to the devils, and not to God. And I would not that you should have fellowship with the devils." Every sacrifice that is offered to the gods of the land with regards to marriage is not an ordinary thing. When they ask you that, when you come to marry in this place, you bring a cowrie shell. It doesn't mean anything, it means something. They will tell you there is a keg of wine you are going to bring, which is for the eldest man of the family. They will tell you that it matters something. Now, how were Christians, did the Christians compromise themselves? The devil tell them, don't you drink. If they tell you to bring mineral, don't you drink mineral. If they tell you to bring goat, don't you eat goat before? Some foolish believers say, eat goat. There are things that are demanding, are things we usually eat. These things they are demanding, there is an offering made to the gods of the land. It's not ordinary. It's not the same with the goat you buy from the market, kill and eat, or the parts of goats you buy from the market and eat. But Christians say it doesn't matter anything, but it matters before God. This is why they are dead in their Christian lives. Why and how did they compromise? They began to compromise when they lost the power of God. Because you enforce the doctrine of Christ by the power of God. The Bible said the kingdom is not in word but in power. It takes spiritual energy to say no to the devil. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had the spiritual prowess, the spiritual energy to say to the gods of Babylon, "We will not bow down to you." And they even went further to say, "Even if I will not deliver us from your hand, we will not bow down to your gods. But these Christians, because they lack spiritual strength to stand and command the will of God to be done by the power of God, when the gods of the land push, and they see that the powers of the gods of the land is against them, they will compromise. They will say, okay, we will not buy these things, but calculate the money. What we know is to give you money. Anything you like, you do with it. This is hypocrisy. It's complete hypocrisy. Christianity should not be prosecuted in this way. Christians stand and say no, and their no remains no. If a Christian wants to do the will of God, he must have long suffering, strength, and spiritual power. Sometimes you will go there for the marriage, they will say no today. You will go back and say, I'm coming back. Go into fasting and prayer. The church will go into fasting and prayer and draw down the power of God. By the second time they are coming there with the awesome power of God, every god of the land will bow. But these people are lacking in the authority and the power of God. The Bible said they have a form of godliness, but they deny the power thereof. So I am a preacher who wants to bring Christianity to the right path. I have been doing this for many years. I have not compromised as others have compromised. And we conduct marriages, whichever nation, whichever country, whichever kingdom. We have entered many nations control marriages. Even outside Nigeria, very countries outside Nigeria, we have gone there to control marriages. When we go there and they say this is our tradition, we tell you we will not do your tradition. We are here to do the will of God. And the will of God is this: we give you reasonable bride price. Not a bride price that can afford you to go and buy gold for your father's people. Not a bride price that will afford you to go and buy ram for them and buy kegs of wine. We do what is reasonable. If you say no, we are coming back and you must obey. Because we are praying by the power of God. But these believers are no more ready to exercise spiritual authority. Therefore they compromised in the area of marriages. If you ask them, they will say, Jesus turned water into wine. Yes, he turned water into wine. Not where they were worshiping idols, but when they were celebrating marriage according to the custom of the Jews, which was lifted from the Bible. It will not be lifted from any shrine. So now Christians have compromised their faith in the way of marriages. Now was when God wants the of Israel through Moses. Then be careful. If you want to marry with the Gentiles, they will try to ensnare you and make you to worship their gods. Then when he told in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3 he said, neither shall thou make marriages with them. The daughter thou shalt not give into his son, nor his daughter shall thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy sons from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. When God wanted Israel not to intermarry with the Gentiles, he was trying to protect them from this war we are fighting now. He knew that if they go to marry from the Gentiles, they would demand that they offer some sacrifice to their gods. So the Jehovah said, don't do it. Today we cannot separate ourselves and say we cannot marry from the family of unbelievers, because if they come from a family, one lady will repent, the remainder of their brethren are all in heaven worship. We go there and marry, but we insist that the will of God be done. Christians have compromised their marriage. Now, in the second area where they have compromised, there are many. I will only itemize some. Christians have compromised in the area of burying of the dead. Today, Christians bury the dead like the heathens do. They offer sacrifices to the God of the dead. And this was what people of Israel did in the wilderness, and God killed them with a great slaughter in Balpoa. I want to show you from the Bible in Psalm 106, verse 28 and 29. They joined themselves unto Balpoa and ate sacrifices of the dead. Thus they provoked him to anger with their invention, and the plague broke out among them. What did they sin against God in now? They sinned against God by eating the sacrifices offered on behalf of the dead people. Some cultures in the world believe that when somebody is dead, he becomes a god. Therefore, some worship rites and some burial rites is due to that person. That if you fail to give him that worship and burial right, that he will take vengeance on you, that there will be retribution. So, in a way to avoid this retribution, there are things that culture demand that be offered to dead people before they are buried. Now, Christians have so much diverted from the word of God that when you go where Christians are burying their dead, you'll be surprised at what you will see there. They no more simplify and make burial of the dead as simple as it was in the time of the early apostles. We had a story of Benjamin who died in the Bible. Example, Stephen was martyred. The Bible said young men took him for the burial, and that was all. In our church, when somebody dies, we do no ceremony. We don't cook food to entertain the guests that come. We don't buy drinks to entertain the guests that come. We do not even preach where people die. We owe a dead man the duty of digging the soil, bury him in the sand, and moving on with the gospel of Jesus Christ. The people of Christianity today, what they do when people die, you will see them bring the biggest of the cars, hire a very big ambulance, set a very big loudspeaker, bring the food, then they will set the table where they will receive donations from people who come to sympathize with them over their dead. All these things have roots in idolatry. I have studied Igbo culture, and I have known that prior to Christianity, when somebody dies in Igbo land, the masquerades will come, the daughters of the land will come. There are things that are usually given to them, and when these are given to them, they will take the portion that belong to them. In some cultures in Igbo land, when they give them a cock, they will kill the cock, remove the hand, and hang it on a palm front. You give them a goat, they will kill the goat, take part of that goat and hang it at the palm front. And when people are coming to sympathize with them, as the daughters of the land and the men of the land have donated certain things from their own rights, people will be contributing money. So when people of God say they are people of God, why do you still resort to them paganistic practices of burying the dead according to the culture of the people of the Gentiles? If people die in Christianity today, when you go there, you will weep for Christianity. They have only contended for that women may not shave their head when their husband dies. There's no more a battle, because even people in every Orthodox religion or church in Christianity have accepted that. But why do you do the hidden thing by wearing a special garment? If you refuse a woman from wearing a morning dress for her husband, either white or black, why did you go and print a t-shirt with the inscription of the dead man and his picture, and you are distributing it to those who come there wearing it? Is it not a morning dress? It is a morning dress. Why make badges and give people badge to place in their clothing to show that they sympathize with other people? This is idolatry. So in burial, Christians have compromised. So they have compromised their faith in marriages. They have compromised their faith in burial of the dead. They have also compromised their faith by eating things offered to idols. Today, Christians eat things that are offered to idols. When the Church of God was introduced to the Gentiles, and there was a question of circumcision and the remainder of the things, when the apostles and elders in Jerusalem were confronted with that, they decreed that only few things were required from the Gentiles. In Acts chapter 15, from verse 28 and 29. For it seems good to the Holy Ghost and to us to lay upon you no greater burden than these necessary things, that you abstain from meats sacred offered to idols, and from blood, and from things strangled, and from fornication, from which if you keep yourself from, you shall do well. Farewell. The apostle decreed that the necessary things that they required of Christians at that time was that they should abstain from eating things sacrificed unto idols. And Christians were very circumspect that they may not eat things sacrificed to idol. But today Christians eat things sacrificed to idol. Why and how? I'll show you from the Bible. Today, somebody will say he's a Christian, but he's still attending New Yam Festival. Christians join in attending New Yam Festival. They will go and pray for the king on the day of New Yam Festival. And they will tell you, it's New Yam Festival, everybody eats yam, so they're thanking God because of the New Yam. But whereas you know that if it's idolatry, why didn't they thank God for the new cocoyam? Why didn't they thank God for the new rice? So you see that Christians actually are compromising their faith. It happened and it started. Even in the time of the early apostles, there was a time that Satan infiltrated the church and started to these doctrines in Revelation chapter 2, verse 14 and 15. But I refute this against thee, because thou hast them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balaam to cast stumbling blocks before the children of Israel, and to eat his sacrifice unto devils, and to commit fornication. The devil infiltrated the church by one woman called Jezebel, the spirit of prophecy of the devil, to teach Christians to eat things sacrificed to the devil. Today Christians celebrate Christmas. I have a different doctrine on that. These are things sacrificed to the devil. Today Christians celebrate Easter. These are things sacrificed to the devil. When they eat it, when they are invited to where they are doing also title, they go. When they go there, they eat whatever they find there. So Christians compromise their faith. They are committing sacrilege. And this is wrong. The Lord admonishes us through the scriptures that Christians turn away from idols in order to follow the true God. It's literally required that when somebody will serve the true God, he should turn away from idols. That is the plan of God. But they will not let people know this. But rather, they do things the way they want in order to not to suffer. They don't want to be persecuted. That's what brought about all this is that Christians are trying to avoid persecution. They compromise and they conform to the society wherein they come. If in the local area where they come, if they say that in every market day, every woman should wear blue to come to market, Christians wear and go. Because they don't want to be compromised. In some localities, if they say that a woman should not pick cola from the ground, Christians compromise because they don't want to be persecuted. Christianity is a warfare. To be a Christian, you be ready for the battle. I am not speaking what I want to start. I am speaking what I have been doing. I've been in this gospel preaching for 26 years. I've been preaching Christ for 26 years. And I've been shepherding the church for 26 years. This is a battles I have fought and won. Many communities know me with it. We have been persecuted, but we overcome the persecution by the power of God. So if I conclude, I want to read this. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 16. And what agreement had the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God. And God has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them. And I will be their God and they shall be my people. I want to ask, as the scripture asks you, what agreement has the temple of God with idols? Today you have made an agreement with temple of the devils. You have made an agreement. This is why in denominations today, because of the compromise, they are boasting of the highest governor that attend their fellowship. They are boasting of how many senators that come to their church. They are boasting of how many ambassadors and members of their church. They do not care how these people make their money. They do not care how they got the offices they occupy. What they want is as many as a big male. So far they get them, they rejoice. Christianity is not like this. I am out to correct these things. Come to Day Spring Assembly and come and see and experience the good old religion of Jesus Christ. The way it was in the beginning. And it is so today and will remain so forever. Thank you for listening to us. God bless you.